There's been a redistribution going on. Yes, and now all the new shops have sprung up, and a whole new different societies there. Can't say it's any more friendlier. I can't say the people say hello to me. Can't say the Asian people's friendly people that say hello. Can't say that about them, But yeah, the atmosphere has shifted and changed. So, so there's this concern on immigration and that. Now, I don't want to talk about immigration, but I know that we can research a natural pattern and timing. And maybe the heavens are speaking as people are being redistributed and repopulated, because the Lord does say, I will gather my people. He said it through the prophet Jeremiah and his other prophets. He said, the people that I have scattered, I will bring them back. So maybe the Lord has a say in all this, Maybe he is bringing back his people. And maybe there's a reason why, because Ezekiel talks about the dead bones, raising the dead bones from the valley. In Ezekiel 37, he says, the hand of the Lord was upon me, and brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord, and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me to and fro among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. He asked me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I said, O sovereign Lord, you alone know. Then he said to me, prophesy to these bones, and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to the bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you, and make flesh come upon you, and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Then, when the Lord has done everything, then you will know that he is the Lord. That means he has prevailed, he has conquered, he has mastered everything. So is it that the Lord is wanting us to master? Is that the real word in due season? That as we come together, there are certain things or certain issues that we have to master. And I personally want to say that we have to master the I. Born into iniquity, shaped by transgression. And shaped by transgression, I hear, means the injury of the soul. Yeah. And in all the talk that the people were saying, nobody addressed the I. The I. Or the I am, whoever wants to put it that way. Right. And this is one of the things that I found when I was in my profession in the workplace. That I was given, depends really, not everywhere I went, because I worked as a temporary person for several years. Not everywhere I went, but there are times where I went to certain places and I had no expression of myself. I wasn't allowed to express myself. I wasn't allowed to show any form of intelligence. I had to undermine myself. I had to talk dance in order to get along with the people. Had I shown any form of intelligence, any form of initiative, any form of bringing forth some new ideas, that was it. I was exited out of the job with a bad reference behind my name. Okay? So there was very little growth. There was very little growth. So how can we talk about industry growing, having jobs, migration, immigration, when within that sector there is very little opportunity for one to grow within the little circle of movements that they're in, even within the community, the local community, because I've been local since I haven't been in the work, and even then there is very little span of growth. If I want to do any form of private studies, it's very hard to find a place. The libraries are very limited in their time, and the bundle of people that's in there and the staff, it's very hard to find. If you didn't want to study at home, it's very hard in the community to find a place to do some good studies and some good research. Okay, so there's a whole lot of limitation just on the local level. So the I cannot really find who I is. Can't really grow and explore and find the gem. Now the master's calling, come to the banquet, come, and you'll find out who you are. You'll find that gem in yourself. You'll find it among the others. And now you'll be able to tap in and trade. And this is a word in due season. Because the Lord is about trading. He's about exchanging one for the other, one value for the other. But in His eyes, it's his value is a higher value. So you're going from a lesser value to a higher value. Trade your time, release the mundane, and come and find the I consciousness. And that's how we treat one another. Are we allowing another person to grow and develop as well as we are growing and develop? Are we making space for each of us to grow and develop? Or are we keeping everybody so conformed, so in a tight belt, so yoked up as the man who had to go and deal with his oxen that were in yoke? Was that a reflection of himself? And the man who married, he's already imprisoned himself to a marriage. And the one who's to the field, he's already buried himself in the field. You see, are we allowing ourselves to grow? And are we allowing others to grow? Are we looking for different ideas and different talents and skills? And what do we have to bring to the table? What knowledge do we have that we can really help to grow the community? You see? And the more that we can come together, the more that we're likely to explore. And sometimes we have to just trust the nature, trust the higher source of God to resolve the situation and not get ourselves so tied up and hemmed down. Because, as Jesus said, sometimes we have to look at taking the plank out of our own eyes before we take the splinter. And I just found in my work life that there was very little girth for me to grow and expand. And the Lord used to download a whole load of ideas to me. And they're just ideas in me. I wasn't permitted in the workplace. I wasn't permitted to explore any ideas, any form of growth. You see? And I think that's where the loss of money is. That's where the real concern is. The I. You see, we are the real workhorse of all the community events. You see, the Lord called for the people to come. He didn't call for the land and the ox and the marriage certificate. He called for the I. He called the I am that I am, who I am. He called for the I to come to His banquet. He said, my house has to be full. Okay? And He said to the servant, make it happen. And that's where we should be. We should make it happen. When we come together, when we pull the people together, we should make it happen. We should fill the Lord's house and make it happen. What's wrong? What's wrong with coming together and making it happen? This is the word that's coming through to me. What's wrong with delving into each other, exploring each other's goodness, and bringing it out and release the prejudice in ourselves. Release the old conception that we had of one another. Release the old upbringing. Release the quarrels of our forefathers. Come on, man. We are still carrying arguments that our parents, our grandparents had. We're born anew and we're still battling some old battles that is dead gone. When are we going to release those arguments? Release those hatred and dislike. They were in the dark ages, but now we are in the age of enlightenment. Enlightenment means that we have divine knowledge and awareness of the heavens. We should be looking forwards and never backwards. You see, when are we going to come into that type of realization that the earth is always evolving? And can I tell you that she's also traveling through galaxies and galaxies and galaxies? She's never one place. But what has happened to the human mind? It doesn't want to go forward. It wants to stay in drudgery and misery. It doesn't want to go to the banquet and have a good time and party. I know if you call me to the banquet, the first thing that's on my mind is the food. It's the food. I'm going for the food. Particularly if they do good food. Particularly I was invited to come to a Muslim meeting. And the first time I went, the food was good, man. It was really nice, the food, the rice and the curry and the samosa, and then there was this rice pudding or rice spaghetti pudding, milk pudding. That was really superb. And I was given a second invite, and all I could think about was, oh yeah, the food, the food. But the thing is, I couldn't find the date of the invitation, so I missed the date when it came around the second time. So I said, oh God, I missed the food there. And I quite liked it. I liked it at the end when we got together and we sat on the tables and we began to talk. So now Blog Talk Radio is saying 90 seconds. So I really asked the English crowd, okay, let's put a value to each person. Let's put a value that we can grow and develop wherever we are. We give that space. And we might just find that may resolve most of our worries when we give each other that space, that growth, when we can give honor to each person and not carry the judgments of our ancestors, of our forefathers. Allow it to shape our lives and keep us in misery today. Allow us to come to the banquet and fellowship. Let us have new revelation, divine revelation as well. Let us party. Let us see what the Master has laid up for us. We don't know until we get there. Okay? Let's embrace something new. Let's release the old, the drudgery, and receive. That's my word to you today, Great Britain. Okay? That's the word that's coming through for me. That we really got to start from the soul. We got to start from the spirit. We got to start from the I. And the expansion and the growth and development of the I. Okay, so 10 seconds left. So this is Blog Talk Radio coming into the higher calling, and those who are through speaker.com/Joycelyn Linton's tracks. Blog Talk's finished now, so thank you very much for listening to me. And this is a word in due season. Wow, I could tell you I was really nervous about that one because my mind was blank just before I came on. I was really surveying, thinking, what am I going to say? Because I had it and it's gone. And I think that was the Lord who deliberately emptied my mind so that his voice can step across. So there you go, working in faith and working in spirit. So once again, thank you, folks. Have a good night. And if I can come back tomorrow with some more news on this, then I'll do so. Take care. Thanks. Bye.